Deuce Magic.
Easy money.
What's happening? Welcome to Amateur Opinions, the podcast. It's a brand new week. You know what it is. We're back at it. How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
I'm with my man, Nate.
Yeah, I'm Nate, by the way. I was going to say I'm not Easy Money. Easy Money is much buffer than I am.
Yeah,
more West African looking than I am.
He's East African,
East
but
African,
he's West
though.
African looking.
Yeah.
Because East Africans are usually skinnier.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, welcome back. Thanks for joining me again.
Thanks, dude.
We had an interesting conversation last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but
around
this week is a new week.
Yeah.
You know, new week.
More interesting conversations.
Yeah. You know. So how you been, bruh? How's it going?
Good, man. Had an interesting experience, I think, 2 weeks ago with regards to Adulting 101. Right?
Okay. I want to hear this one. What happened?
Yeah, I don't think I told you. So, my dad messaged me one day, right? My dad doesn't message me, right?
This is an African dad.
Exactly. You know?
Yeah.
And I don't message my dad because you message my dad, like, it's one word answers, and, you know, it's really not worth the message. You might as well just call him. So he messages me and he's like, hey, your cousin's getting married. I'm like, oh, all right. You know, congrats to him, you know? All right, okay, cool. Then my dad's like, yeah, you need to send contribution money. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, I'm not really a fan of unplanned expenses, but I don't think anyone is. But then he's like, okay, you need to send contribution money for the wedding. So it's a Zambian culture thing, right? So if you're having a wedding, you're not the one who pays, or you pay for some of it, but like the whole family contributes towards the wedding.
That's when they have like that committee thing.
Exactly, yeah. You have
where
a committee.
The rich people are in the committee.
Yeah. They make sure that all the rich families are there.
There's
so
no
like,
poor person in the committee.
Exactly, right. So like they so now they pull in money from everyone, right?
Yeah.
So now I asked my dad, so how much would be enough, right? But luckily, you know, my dad knows what kind of person
he's a G. Yeah.
He's a G, right? So he's like, do you speak to him a lot? So I'm like, no, I don't. Yeah, it's like, okay, cool. Yeah, you can send him like 1,000. So basically like $1,000, like 1,000 rand equivalent.
Okay.
1,000 rand equivalent. So I'm like, okay, cool. Can you send me the account details and stuff, right? And then he says, just send it to your aunt because I don't want it to sound like it's coming from me, right? So, but then I don't like sending money back home. No, I'm sounding a bit selfish, but I don't like to.
Why?
Because it opens the door to...
it says the president, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It says the president. Because that's been my backup. I'm like, I can't send money. You know, I'm in a different country.
Yeah.
You know, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's not possible, right? Not the first time. My aunt has asked me for money before, but I swerved her so badly. Because like my thing was like, dude, you've had how many years on me? And
you had a head start.
You had a head start, a hell of a head start, you know. Understandably, maybe like, you know, I'm more comfortable. My parents are more comfortable, therefore I'm more comfortable, right? Understandably, but still,
it's not my fault.
Dude,
what is she asking it for?
I don't know. Like, and the thing is, she asked me. So the way it would start is, I have my aunt on Facebook, and then she'll send me a wave. You know those wave things? She'll send me a wave, right? First time it happened, I was like, oh, okay, she's just saying what's up. I was like, hey, auntie, how you doing? You know, like, hey, I'm good, how are you? Okay, cool. Couple of messages down the line. Yeah, can you send me, how much did she ask for the first time? I think it was like $300 or $200 or something.
What, US dollars?
Yeah, US, because she's in Botswana. So, well, they use pullers there, but like, you know, because it's cross-country thing, so use a universal currency, dollars. So she's like, can you send me like $200? This was, I think, like 2 days after I got paid.
Wait, so, she just says that no apparent reason why you're sending this money.
Well, what was the reason?
Actually,
there was no apparent reason.
Just that, please send me $200.
Please send $200. I'll send it back to you in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no thanks.
So
unless your payday is in 2 weeks, which is not.
And the thing is, it's either globally, right? No, not globally, but the times that people usually get paid, it's either end of the month, which is the 25th or the 1st, right? Or mid-month, right? And I'm assuming, I think she's like a nurse or something, so it's probably end of the month, right?
Yeah.
That's when she gets paid. So that was like the 27th, 28th. So she was probably getting paid a couple of days after that. So I was like, why are you asking for money at this point? And also on top of that, why aren't you asking your brother for money, which is my dad, right? Because you should be asking. Don't go.
Yeah,
like,
don't skip the
don't
hierarchy.
skip the hierarchy. Like, why aren't you asking your brother for money? Because if you want to ask for money, like, if anything, you should be asking.
That should be your guy.
That should be your guy.
Don't try to bully me into it.
Like, guilt trip me into it. Like, oh, she's my mom, I'm gonna send her money. So at that time, because I just started work at the time, right? So I was just like, no, I don't have any right now. I'm still settling down and stuff. So I told my dad the story. Oh, my dad laughed, dude. It's just like, yeah, welcome to adulthood. Welcome to adulthood. And then she did it again, conveniently around the same date, right?
You have to be
strategic, like $200 and stuff.
Strategy. What does she do for a living?
I think she's like a nurse, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's like a nurse, probably. But yeah, so the second time she did send me a Facebook thing again, the wave thing. I just waved back. I didn't go in detail because I knew what was coming, right? And obviously it came. Like, oh, can you send me $200 for this? Like,
oh yeah, so the first time when she asked, what did you do? Oh, you said I'm settling in.
Yeah.
So how many months after did she ask?
I think it was like she skipped a month, I think.
So what did you say this time?
What did she do this second time? I'm like, I don't have. I said I don't have. Pretty sure I said I don't have. I don't have. But so the thing is, like, yeah, like I said, you have a head start on me. Why aren't you asking your brother for money? Why are you asking me? You know, I felt like it was a very like a guilt trip kind of thing.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it is.
Like you asking your child
Yeah.
for money when you have two children that you should be taking care of. You know, and you should be asking your brother for money. But anyway, that was just my experience with regards to adulting.
So did you send the money for the wedding?
For the money, for the wedding, yeah, I did. But I didn't send it from here. So I asked my mom to send it because she has some of my money back home. So I asked her to send, which avoids international bank transfers as well. But yeah, so my mom sorted me out on that end.
Yeah, I send money for like a wedding gift for my cousins. And then I had this cousin of mine, so he was having a wedding, right? So I told my mom, look, Mom, I'm gonna send $200 for a gift, as a gift for the wedding, right? Yeah. So my mom was like, cool. So the obviously I was invited to the wedding, but I was like, yeah, I'm not flying to Zim for that, you know. The only way I'm flying to Zim for a wedding, I have to know there's a return on investment in terms of me enjoying that wedding a lot. Yeah. So if it's like potentially just one of those weddings,
or if it's overlapping with your leave.
Yeah, there's that too. Yeah. Sometimes I'll even like make it like then that becomes my leave, and then in December I don't have leave. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But so I don't really go for weddings, but I send money. So I sent. So I tell my mom, like, I'm not. So I tell my cousin, like, I'm not gonna come for the wedding. Right? Yeah. So I just tell him that, like, sorry man, I'm not gonna make it for the wedding. And then he's like, okay, just send me the money. I was like, wait, what now?
What do you mean just send me the money?
I was like, wait, what now? I screenshot, I sent it to my big sister. I'm like, yo, check out what the cousin just said. You know what I mean? And then my sister's like, like, he's lucky you even sending him money. Like, it's not an obligation.
That's the thing. It's not an obligation.
Yeah, and I was gonna send 200. Not how much that is. It's a lot of money.
For those of you that don't know, $200 is about like what, 3,000 rand?
More
than that. Well, it's at 14 now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just rounding it off. I just do it off the top.
Okay, yeah. 3.3.
Yeah, 3K. Something like that. Yeah,
right. It's a lot of money.
Which is
a
like
lot of money for a gift.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's like a month's worth of gross, plus some actually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, plus some. Yeah. We're single. You know what I mean? Exactly. So it's a lot of money. So so I told my sister this. She's like, yeah, you know. So I called my mom. I'm like, yeah, Mom, I bought that 200. So I mean, I really felt really violated because I was like, you can't just say send. Not please, not just I'm sad money. You can't come. Yeah. You know, it's okay. Send the money. Like he doesn't give a damn, right? I told Mom, yeah, Mom, I bought that 200. Let's make it a 50.
Just like, what's that? 25%.
Oh yeah.
You cut off 75% off the top.
I was like, let's make that a 50. Bro. Let's make that a 50. Yeah. I was not happy.
No, I'll probably not even send it at that.
Yeah, and that's what my sister was like, you still gave him.
I probably wouldn't send it.
She was like, bro, I wouldn't have sent it.
I'll probably just send a message and just say, congratulations for getting married, bro. Congratulations.
I was so irritated, dude. You understand?
Like, I think I feel like it's okay. I guess now that I look back at it, the money that I sent was more because I'm not gonna buy a gift. Just being honest, I'm not gonna buy a gift because I was told about this wedding as a third party because my dad told me, right? My cousin didn't tell me.
Yeah.
So essentially, I didn't know. It's like
as far as you're concerned,
as far as I'm concerned, I don't know about this wedding, right? Even though my dad told me, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know because the person's actually getting married didn't tell me about it. But I don't blame him because we don't speak that often. We don't speak.
Yeah,
he's my cousin. I know it's there, like a shot.
Yeah,
but like if
y'all don't really have a relationship.
Exactly. If I was having a wedding, I also wouldn't. I wouldn't expect him to pitch in anything.
Yeah.
But anyway,
would you invite him? That's a no. That's a no.
That's my thing now. Like with our African weddings, dude. Like,
yeah, those massive ones.
Massive.
Yeah.
Right? I'm gonna have to have a lot of people pitching in. Cash.
I blame our grandparents. Why did they have 10 kids?
It's not even about the kids though.
It is. If you think about it.
Really? Is it?
Yeah, because our families don't have 10 kids.
True. Okay. Well.
So that makes it more. That makes it hard. Now there's more people.
Okay. Yeah. I think my great granddad had like 4 wives or something.
Yeah.
And then like now with each of those 4 wives.
That's why African families are massive.
Average of
bro.
like 6 kids each.
Yeah.
And then now you trickle down that leads to 10,000. 10,000.
People
cousins.
get angry.
Yeah, dude. Like
people get angry if you don't invite them.
Because even in like I'm pretty sure it's the same with like Zimbabwean culture as well, where your grandmother's sister or your grandmother's uncle is your grandparents.
Yeah.
Regardless, right?
Yeah.
So it's your grandmother and your grandfather, regardless of whether it's your grand uncle or grand sister.
Yes.
That doesn't exist, right?
Nope.
It's the same with uncles and aunts. It's your father and mother, right? So that's why you can't not invite your grandmother, even though it's a grand aunt or a grand sister, and you haven't seen them in 10 years.
Sometimes I've never seen them.
You've never seen them before.
Yeah.
You've never seen them before.
But
and they're like, oh.
I'm like, Mom, who's this person you put on the list?
Yeah. Like, no, that's she changed your diapers when you were 3.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now I don't have space for my actual friends.
And people that you actually want to invite, and then they come to you like I think that's the most awkward part is people come to you and they're like, oh, you don't remember me? Oh, you don't remember me? And I'm like, no, I don't remember you. And then they make you feel so bad for not remembering who they are. But like, dude, when I was 8, come on, like you came once. If I didn't play with you, I just
said
you.
hi and went to my room.
Actually, I was forced to come and greet you.
Yeah.
And then I went to my room.
Exactly.
No, I came to your house. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, But anyway, that's the the conundrum that we face.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, man.
It's beautiful and weird at the same time. I think it is. But yeah, and then there's this other thing I watched. Sticking with the whole theme of families.
Right.
So my friend recommended me to watch. We always watch like these weird things. So she recommended me to watch this show called Escaping Polygamy.
Escaping Polygamy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Okay.
So it's a show.
Real life show or like a series?
It's like a real life show.
Okay.
It's like a reality show. Not a reality show. Yeah, kind of like a reality
African,
show.
I'm guessing.
No.
Oh, it's not African.
That's the kicker.
Right.
It's
okay.
not African, right? It's redneck. So yes.
The Africans of
the
white
United
people.
States, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So then it's about these 3 girls, right, that escaped polygamy. Right?
Okay.
But they were I'm pretty sure you've heard of these cults. Not really. Yes, it's a cult, right? I don't remember what the name is exactly, but they live secluded, right? They have their own banks. Even though their banking system is messed up, they basically have their own communities, right? Where they marry within each other because they want to keep the bloodline pure.
Yeah.
That's point number 1.
Right.
Then these 3, there's the show is centered around these 3 girls that escaped it, right? And then they try to help other girls escape, right? But then here's the bigger kicker. Right?
Yeah.
They have their dad has over 200 kids. Yeah, 200 kids with like I think it was like 16 or 18 wives or something like that. Yeah, It's insane. Like they showed a picture of their family photo, dude. Like it looked like, you remember our graduation photo?
It's like, yeah.
It was like our graduation photo standing on Jamie's
We're like,
stairs.
okay, there's John.
Exactly, standing on Jamie's stairs.
Yeah.
But our graduation photo, you could point out who's who, right? These kids said they don't even know like some of their siblings. Like that's how many they are. Like there's like 200. Because what happens is the dad. So she was pointing like at this picture, right? She was like, "Oh yeah, that's my dad's niece, who's his current wife. That's my dad's other niece, who's his current wife." So like 50% of the wives are related to the husband, right? Actually, not 50. Let me just say like 80% of them are related to the husband, right? So the further down you go in the generations, even worse, because now you must marry within the community, and everyone in the community is related.
So it's like that Game of Thrones family. Those wildlings.
Oh, the wildlings. What, do the wildlings marry within each other?
Remember? No, that dude. They were wildlings.
Oh, you mean the
guy,
what you call it?
What's
Jamie?
His name? No, not Jamie. Them too. But there was this dude who was giving out his sons to the White Walkers.
Oh yes, it is the wildlings.
It
is the wildlings.
Yeah,
yes.
That guy.
Yes. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah, because he was marrying his daughters. Not marrying, he was screwing his daughters.
Yes,
to
basically, he was having kids with his daughters. Yeah. So it's on that scale, but a bit worse because. So as soon as the daughters hit puberty, which is 13, right, they are given a list of guys that they can marry, right? And on that list, it has been known to find like a 42-year-old uncle. So given this child is 13 and her uncle's 42, it's a possible suitor for her.
Yeah. And
they must marry within that list because otherwise your dad's not going to be happy, right? So they basically go through this story of how they break out their sister. Then they went to this other place, this other cult or this other group called FLDS, I think. First letter saying something like that. Yeah. FLDS, right? They also like one of those. So it all started with one guy. Then this one guy, like back in the days in history, this one guy started polygamy, and then he passed it on to his son, and then his son had 2 kids, and then those 2 kids, so they always have a prophet who's like their leader, right? Okay. So then these 2 kids then started fighting for who wants to be the prophet, right? So then they split up into 2 different cults. So FLDS and the other one. So that's how now there's 2 of them, right? And now that's how they like now have the same kind of beliefs where the girls aren't allowed to cut their hair. That's point number 1. So girls aren't allowed to cut their hair, not allowed to, so they can't show any skin that will arouse a male, right? So they must be, up to the thing.
As minimal skin as possible.
As minimal skin as possible, right? These girls look weird. Like
I can imagine.
They look weird because they wear those old dresses, man. You know those old dresses? Yeah, that's what they wear. So these cults believe that women are there just to make babies and be slaves to their men. That's all.
So this is in the States?
Yeah.
Do you know what state it is? Out of curiosity.
Oh, it's obviously the South.
Oh yeah, it's in the South. So I mean, incest is not legal.
No.
So how do they not get into trouble?
The one leader is actually arrested. I think is serving a life sentence
for
incest and child something basically.
Okay, so they are not above the law.
No, they're not above the law. No.
How are they allowed to exist? That's weird.
Well, now the thing is, once that's what the show was actually saying, is that they were trying to break out this one kid who was she wasn't 16 yet, because the legal age for being in to make your own decision in the States, I think, is 16, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think she was 15. So you know this thing of having different laws in different states.
Yeah.
So in the state that they're in, right, if they take that child, so it's kind of like kidnapping.
Yeah.
Even though she doesn't want to leave, but because she's under the legal age, right, legal custody goes to the parents.
Yeah.
So if they take her, it's kidnapping. So what they did is they hired a cab, right, and they put her in the cab, then drove her to a different state, where if you can, or you can basically say, look, if I go back, it's not safe for me. So they're like, okay, cool, we're not going to take you back. But in the state that they're in, cops are like, doesn't matter. You're under the you're under the legal. You're not legal yet. You're not old enough to make your own decisions. You're going back to your parents, and they should be back to your parents with your 180 other siblings.
Okay, so you're saying that's how those 3 kids escaped?
They escaped when they were post 16, when they were older.
How did they escape?
They just left.
So how are they kept? Are they like always locked in? And
they're
stuff
not always
that?
locked in. So what keeps them there usually is that once you leave, you can have no contact whatsoever with your family. Like, you're ostracized. That's it. You're done.
And I'm guessing those who don't have money.
No, probably not. Which is the weird part for me, because I was like, these girls look like they actually. Oh, but they've been out. One girl's been out for 12 years. The other one, I think, the other one has been out. Oh, they've been out for a while. The 3 main that the story is centered around have been out for a while. The one was actually married to her cousin, then she left. Yeah. So it's like, what are we talking about now? I've lost the train of thought. So how they get out? They just leave. But the biggest issue for them is that they miss their families. So they're not allowed to speak to their mom. They're not allowed to speak to their brothers and sisters.
By the cult.
The cult basically
culture.
tells them, like, they burn all their pictures, burn all their clothes. It's like they never existed.
You're dead to them.
You're dead to them, basically. That's what it is. And that's why a lot of them don't leave. It's because they don't want to leave their family behind.
And I'm guessing too, like for some of them, it's probably like the norm. You know what I mean?
And also, like,
it's like all they know.
Yeah, and also this has been taught to you since you were 0 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Since you were born.
So it's normalized, right?
So it's normalized, right? But then it gets a bit odd when, like, you are 13, dude, and you have a 42-year-old, you know.
You probably have like a thing with a kid from the park.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you're a thing with the kid from the park.
Yeah.
But then also, like, adding on top of that, some of these guys are abusive, right? So it's all about sex and abuse.
I mean, like you're saying, it's they have their own community.
Exactly.
Yeah, they probably don't even have, like, they have their own cops.
Yeah, the FLDS one was like they literally have their own cops. And
yeah, I can imagine, right?
Their own bank and like all this other, like, it's very like creepy stuff, dude. Like creepy as balls.
The legality of it is what's baffling for me.
I don't know
why. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
It's all those things that you can't prove.
It's like the South African one, right?
Which one?
You've heard of it. I think it's in the Orange State. Free State, where they have their own community. Obviously, like, blacks aren't allowed. I'm sure you've heard of it.
That one, I've heard about that one.
Yeah, but yeah. So like that one, for example, like, how is it allowed? Because okay. I mean, I heard, like, what they claim is, so you have to apply
to go there.
Right.
Get a visa.
Yeah, so they claim, like, anyone can live here.
Yeah,
doesn't matter if you're black.
Yeah,
but if you don't meet the criteria,
criteria.
So I think that's how they escape the legality of it.
Well, it's also one of those things that if you can't prove it, really.
Yeah, you can't prove it. You can't prove it.
It's one of those, like,
it's clear, but you can't prove it.
Exactly.
Because that's how law is, right? It's what the onus is on the whoever's complaining, the accuser to prove
that actually exists. Yeah.
They, like, you know, if you report me, I don't have to prove that I'm innocent.
Exactly.
You have to prove that I'm guilty.
Yeah.
So that makes it tough.
Obviously. I think that's what the biggest issue with them is that they're not unable to, because they don't have, some of them do have phones, just I found weird as well, like
internet. Yeah.
Oh, they're not allowed to watch TV.
That's important. That's one thing I would not allow if I was the head of that cult.
If you're running a cult, don't watch it.
Internet.
So they're not allowed to watch
restricted
TV. They're not
internet.
allowed to watch internet. Like, even this one girl who got out, she was saying so she mentioned the whole not allowed to watch TV, not allowed to watch internet, whatnot, right? But the weird part is, like, I found, like, they have cars, they're allowed to have cars and stuff. And then she said not allowed to have makeup, right? So the one time being a girl, right? I'm not saying all girls want to have makeup, but, like, you know, she was like, let me play around with some makeup. She put on some mascara, right?
Yeah.
And then her mom saw it, right? And her mom called her a hoe. Oh, you're a hoe. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, that's deep.
We got a lot of hoes then in the streets. That's the criteria.
Yeah. So it's like it's. I find it a very interesting show in that people actually live under those conditions, and people can actually have 199 siblings and counting because they don't know, dude. Like literally for them, it's just like someone could come up to them and say, "I'm your sibling."
Yeah, I mean at that point
you can't say no.
Yeah, at that point you're at the father's mercy, right? I mean, it's probably one of those communities where like they don't even allow condoms. So
contraception. What are you doing with contraception?
Yeah, you just smash. You just
Exactly.
smash. Yeah,
That's the devil's work.
You just smash if your woman so happens to conceive. Then that's it, man.
Because the one mom was saying your job, like you need to have as many babies as possible in the shortest period of time. That's what she.
Because do you think our grandparents were like pulling out and stuff like that? Nah,
what's that?
I know
what you mean. It's like, you don't have to explain it. Let's censor that. We don't know who's listening.
Exactly. Pull out or using condoms. I don't think our grandparents were using condoms in the rural areas. No chance.
No.
You know, because they didn't have AIDS those days in the rural areas.
No.
They didn't have.
But also
STDs.
But also
it was just
those days, having more kids was more beneficial.
It's wealth.
Yeah,
because they're gonna work for you, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the more kids you have, the more kids that you have to take care of you when you're older.
Take care of you when you're older.
That's one. Two, the more labor that you have on your farm.
Labor on the farm.
Because most of our grandparents lived on like bare land where they farmed their own food.
Yeah, you do your food for the year. Depends on how much you work in the
so the more kids that you have, the better it is for you.
The rainy season.
Exactly. The better it is for you. So well, if these guys lived in those days, they had flipping 200 kids.
So logically it made sense.
And this is dude, these guys. I honestly don't know how they get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
But the one kid was saying they made them eat rotten food.
Why?
Because I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like. It was like, what?
I need to know the reason.
Well, yeah, like the thing is, if you have such a large community, right, you're gonna have to have a solid feeding.
If you have 200 kids,
exactly,
fair enough.
You're gonna have to have a pretty solid way of feeding those kids, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm assuming they don't have a solid way of feeding these people, and hence.
No one can have a solid way of feeding 200 kids.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I mean, let's be
so
honest. What kind of house does he have?
Well, that's the thing. It's not it's a village, dude.
He has a village for.
It's not just him. Like they live in like a community with like everyone is there. So like house is that wife with maybe and
each wife has a house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically. And the interesting part is the first wife is considered legally married, whereas the other ones are spiritually married.
Right.
So even the one episode, the legally married wife wanted to leave, but they were saying it's more difficult for her because she's actually legally married. So now there's custody battles that need to happen. Whereas if you're a sister wife, which is what they call them, right, you can just bounce because you're not legally bound. Yeah, you're spiritually bound, but in the eyes of the law, no, it doesn't matter. You can just bounce. So yeah, dude, that was that one show I'm watching.
That's a crazy show. What's it called again?
Escaping Polygamy.
Is it on Netflix or something?
No. I had to watch it on one of my third-party apps.
It's one of those. Okay, it's one of those TV network series.
Yeah, it's one of those TV weird. I don't even know what TV network that is. I think it's an American one.
Okay.
But it's a very weird one, dude.
Hey, that was a crazy story, man. As always, this episode is brought to you by brothersbeard.africa. Check out their website for all your beard oil needs. Brothers Beard Kit, which has a brush, a comb, oil, and balm. Brothers Beard set, which is just the balm and the beard oil, or you can just buy the beard oil on its own. So the beard oil is $200. The kit is $350. The set is $499. So look, I think it definitely works. I've been using it for the past almost 6 months. 6 months. And my beard has definitely improved. So I think if you have a beard that doesn't connect or is patchy, definitely check them out. Brothersbeard.africa. Very soon we'll have a code for you for you to get, what's it called? Discount on your first order if you use our podcast name. But if you're impatient, go ahead and get it. Just let them know that you heard it from here first. And but as far as this episode is concerned, Deuce Magic,
Easy money.
This is Amateur Opinions, the podcast. Peace out. Have a good one.